As we know, the Tri-Titan is undoubtedly the strongest Titan in the Skibidi Wars series, as he's shown some of the most ridiculous feats and brute strength. The Tri-Titan has different forms, and his power seems to grow exponentially each time. But how far do you think this power could take him? Well, let's see what happens if the Tri-Titan fought against the biggest threats so far in the Skibidi Multiverse. And not gonna lie, this video would turn out to be very entertaining, as he alone would be left taking on these opponents. This includes the Counter and Alpha in episode 29, Male 01 with 02, and most importantly, could he stop the G-Man apocalypse? Okay, let's begin. In the very first episode, the Tri-Titan would be left to take on some regular mutants with blasters and a parasite. But yeah, we all know the Tri-Titan easily stomps on these guys. He wouldn't even need to unleash any of his forms, as that's just overkill. Episode 2 would be kinda easy too, as the Tri-Titan's size alone would be enough to intimidate them. Okay, this is too easy. So let's add in a small rule to spice things up. Throughout every episode, the Tri-Titan would have to face off against the Alliance, as well as the mutants all together. Maybe this time he'd find his match. So for episodes 3 till episode 18, he clears them easily. However, from episode 19, things start to get rough. You see, in that episode, Pennywise Toilet and the Scientist were faced against the upgraded Speaker and Camera Titan together. And to be honest, that was one of the coolest fights. But this time it gets even crazier, as both Titans and mutants would team up against the bigger threat. So, would the Tri-Titan be able to defeat them? Let's find out. You see, the Camera Titan would play a huge role in this fight, as he's got a rage mode, an ultimate defense, and can also launch heavy attacks. Surely that would be able to cause significant damage. I mean, this same energy blast was shown to clear a huge part of the surroundings, and even has one-shotting properties. The Speaker Titan would be on the front lines as well, seeing as he's extremely agile and can move freely. Pennywise and the Scientist would be providing backup due to their tricks or the way they fight. And even if the Tri-Titan tries to retaliate, the Camera Titan's energy shield might just hold up. Using this strategy, the Tri-Titan would be forced to enter his unleashed form. And with that, these guys are completely cooked, because even if the Camera Titan's shield is quite durable, it would only be a matter of time before it gets weakened. Once that's done, it's GG for them. The Tri-Titan easily clears the threat in this episode and defeats the Titans as well. But hold on, because the Kamikazes are on the way. Well, honestly, that wouldn't matter, as he casually walks right through it. Moving on to the next threat, we've got the battle from the SCP toilets with the upgraded Speaker and Drill. The Tri-Titan casually walks in, and everyone is shocked. But yeah, this time it wouldn't be so easy, as the Tri-Titan is faced with opponents that are totally broken and might just face some difficulties.
So, all you're trying to say is this team has a really good chance, right?
Yeah, at least that's what it seems like.
Okay, here's how we believe the battle would play out. The battle begins, and the Speaker Titan rushes in with his blasters and shoots them, but yeah, we all know the Tri-Titan wouldn't even feel a thing. The SCP mutants join in as well, and this time a huge blast is formed, and damn, that damage would be way too much to handle. The Tri-Titan tries to counterattack, but the Drill Titan appears casually and tanks it, giving the rest of the group more chances to launch serious attacks or damage him. The SCP missiles are shot again, and in order to make it a sure hit, the Drill Titan buries some parts of him, and the Speaker Titan uses his speakers to stun him a little. But he gets the daddy treatment, as the Tri-Titan boosts towards him, slamming him to the ground. Seeing this, the Titans would know what they're up against, and would have to go all out in order to win. All Titans go in together and try to launch one final attack. And yeah, it wouldn't be looking so good for the Tri-Titan, because even though he tries to attack, the Drill Titan could easily tank them, and the SCP missiles could do serious damage to him. Plus, we've got the Speaker providing support since he's extremely good. The Tri-Titan suffers much damage, but successfully speed blitzes them. Everyone suffers crazy damage aside from the Drill Titan, whose durability gives him the edge. And with this, the Tri-Titan would have no other reason to hold back, as someone might get a taste of that giant pencil.
We get to see his cosmic form, but the rest is history. He clears this episode and proceeds to the next one. Episodes 21 till 24 would be a breeze. But the real threat begins. You see, in episode 25, we got to see the legendary battle between the upgraded Drill Titan and My Daddy TV. But this time, they'd have a common enemy, the Tri-Titan. Now, this battle could go two ways. The Drill Titan transforming right there and making things much harder, or he fights just in his upgraded form. But let's just follow exactly the way things played out. the TV Titan teams up with the drill this time, and seeing as both Titans are good in the front lines, they would launch their attacks together. The TV Titan could use his black hole ability to hold him in place, while the drill Titan goes in for the kill. I mean, this guy could create literal shockwaves from his fists. So yeah, he's the best man for the job. The Tri-Titan might try using his blasters, but the drill could casually tank it as he's shown multiple durability feats. The TV Titan uses his energy sword, and things wouldn't look good for the Tri-Titan, but it's all fun and games until the Tri-Titan decides to get serious. From this point, none of the attacks would scratch him, cause let's be real, this same cosmic form was able to casually tank the allied orbital cannon without any problems. So I don't think the TV or drill could replicate that level of power in their current state. So yeah, that's another win for the Tri-Titan. The next one, we've got a really interesting fight. The Counter-Titan fighting against the duo. Not gonna lie, that's one of the most brutal fights we've seen so far. But let's see what happens if the Tri-Titan fought against them all. And let's just say all Titans are in peak health, because you know what happened after that fight.
Honestly, should we even talk about this? Because I don't think the Tri-Titan is surviving this one.
Oh hey, Unique Clock, just get over with it already.
Okay, so here's how I think the battle would play out. Just before the intense battle starts, the Tri-Titan makes his grand entrance and everyone is shocked. The Counter quickly rushes in to confront the threat and instantly gets sent flying. The other Titans charge in as well, so the Camera Titan uses his arm blasters, and the TV comes in with his energy sword. But yeah, the Tri-Titan takes it all in and feels absolutely nothing. So he tries to counterattack and is blocked by the Camera Titan's shield. The Counter Titan, getting pissed, instantly activates his rage mode and comes in to join his allies. Well, we don't know much about this form, but let's just say it amps all his stats and speed. The TV Titan teleports and tries to launch a sneak attack from behind and successfully does it, removing the Tri-Titan's lens protector, giving the others enough time. The camera comes in again and uses one of his most powerful attacks, his core blast, and is able to finally land a significant attack. The Counter, having enough time on his hands, copies all the weapons he's seen so far and tries to utilize them. The Tri-Titan gets fed up and decides to end this, but sees a TV screen right in front of him and gets hypnotized. The Counter and Camera Titan use this opportunity and activate their rage modes, launching their most powerful attacks. But as soon as the smoke clears, the Tri-Titan reaches his final form.
Okay, Unique Clock. Good job stealing all the screen time.
Well, this has gone really far, but from that moment, the Titans get cooked, and it's just facts. In episodes 31 and 32, we got to see the battle against the special agents and some mutants. Also, we got showings of the Time God together with the TV and Camera Titans. And oh boy, this is where things start to get ugly, because at this point, the Tri-Titan in his final form would be left to take on these monsters alone. But would he be able to defeat them? You're about to find out. Now, obviously the Clock Titan would play a huge role in this one. I mean, he's got the time stop ability, able to speed himself up, and yeah, he could easily restore any other Titan to perfect health. Also, we've got the TV Titan, and you should know he's someone who could handle the front lines easily. With his hypnosis and energy sword, he'd be a very formidable opponent. And yeah, the Camera Titan, whose physical strength is quite impressive, would also be in the front lines. With his shield, he could provide extra defense, and when his rage mode gets activated, things are gonna get hardcore. We shouldn't forget C-Pen was also present in that episode, but you know, he's not gonna be really needed here. And with this, yeah, the Tri-Titan is at a huge disadvantage. Fighting the Clock Titan is one thing, but this time he's got friends. I mean, even if the Tri-Titan manages to damage them or uses his gravity powers, all that damage could be easily cancelled out by the Clock Titan. As we've seen, reversing time isn't much of a deal. The battle would drag on to who has the most endurance and stamina, and he's completely no match for this team, so the Tri-Titan is down to his first loss. Okay, things have gotten a little tense. Let's tamper with the rules a little. This time, the Tri-Titan would be facing all the enemies, but the Clock Titan wouldn't be included, as yeah, he's really something else.
Well, that's the only way things can get interesting.
Indeed, my daddy clock fighting alongside the biggest threats? Bro, that's just overkill.
Alright guys, moving on to the next threat, we got to see the first appearance of the Skull Astro and what he's truly capable of. Let's not forget the scientists came in at some point and fought like crazy, so this is gonna get really good. Adding both the upgraded camera and TV, yeah, the stage is set for an epic battle.
Well said, Unique TV. However, this might not play out the way you think, because you see, the battle begins and the Tri-Titan makes an epic entrance. Without wasting any time, the TV Titan rushes in with his energy sword, but sees a sword a lot longer than his, and decides to chill and work together. Seeing this, Both Mutant and Titan form a temporary alliance and launch precise attacks. The camera uses his arm blasters and launches an energy blast, but the Tri-Titan casually walks right through and decides to retaliate. Well, something extremely fast zooms right past him, also launching energy attacks. The TV Titan uses his splitting body technique and teleportation to send attacks from different angles, but the Tri-Titan easily takes all of these and moves towards the scientist, but gets the shockwave treatment, which stuns him a little. Seeing this, the camera wastes no time and uses his core release, which causes a massive explosion. As the smoke clears up, a red TV screen appears, and the TV Titan tries to hypnotize him. But their luck runs out as the Tri-Titan uses his gravity powers, slicing the TV in half, causing the camera to go all out. But that's nowhere near the Tri-Titan's strength, so he gets bullied. The Astro suffers the same fate. However, the scientist manages to run away.
Yeah, I guess he was the smart one after all. And with that, the Tri-Titan clears this threat with no difficulty. However, episodes 35 through 37 would be a breeze. I mean, the special agents totally stand no chance compared to this guy. But in episode 38, things get really serious, because the threats are really massive. We've got battles on two fronts. The battle against the Drill and Speaker Titan with Male 02, and the TV Titan and Pencil Woman against the Skibidi Scientist. Okay, the Tri-Titan is definitely in for a treat, so here's how we're gonna do this. The Tri-Titan goes towards the first battlefield and then attacks the next one. You see, in the first threat, the Tri-Titan would have to face off against 3 of the most powerful characters, and of course, my Drill Titan is included. Male 02 teams up with the Titans and tries to make things work. I mean, the Drill Titan is extremely durable and has one of the most ridiculous physical strength feats, and having the Speaker by their side, things might actually go smoothly. The Speaker Titan has an insanely broken weapon that could potentially stun the Tri-Titan, although we don't really know how intense sound waves would work on the Tri-Titan. It's gonna be good for backup. Also, Male 02, who was able to take on these two at once. Believe me, he's just as powerful, if not better, and with the combined force of these monsters, they might actually get somewhere with this. But let's be real, the Tri-Titan in his final form is just too massive, and the power difference is not even close at all. Well, he's stomping these guys for sure, but it's not over, as he's still got some business with the scientist. Moving on to that part of the fight, the Tri-Titan casually walks in. And yeah, the scientist figures he's cooked this time, and has to call a truce with both the TV Titan and Pencil Woman. So is this team gonna make a difference? Let's find out. Titan Pencil Woman would be a huge asset, as not only is she quick on her feet, she's also very flexible and has a decent ability. However, it's important to note that the TV Titan now has a rage mode, which you all know how that battle played out, so things are gonna get real juicy. The scientist, as usual, wouldn't contribute much, but would only launch sneak attacks if he finds an opening. However, all these wouldn't matter against this walking fortress, as his durability alone would totally do the job. The Tri-Titan is getting another win here. But the next one is where things get really serious. I mean, episode 39 kinda has the entire gang in one setting, and to make things worse, it's over 5 parts. If all these guys decide to jump the Tri-Titan at once, nah, he's getting beat, no doubt. But let's split the parts in half and see how it goes. In the first and second parts, we had showings of the Dragon Drill with Male 01, Pencil and Speaker, the TV Titan, and to top it all off, the Counter Titan. I honestly don't think this would go well for him, as the episodes keep getting harder each time.
Yeah, in the multiverse, these characters are mostly considered broken. But let's see how this goes. As the battle begins and all the Titans prepare for an attack, the TV Titan rushes in and uses his teleportation ability to launch a surprise attack on the Tri-Titan. 01 comes in as well, firing his arm cannon. However, we all know this wouldn't be enough to take down the big guy, so he boosts towards both Titans, slamming them to the ground. The Counter Titan decides to go all out in order to win and uses his rage mode, activating both swords of the TV and Clock Titan and rushes into battle. And to make it a sure hit, the Speaker Titan would use his guitar to stun him a little, surprising the Tri-Titan. Steve comes from above with his energy blast, leading to a successful attack from the Counter Titan. The Tri-Titan gets pissed, uses his gravity manipulation, holds the counter in place, and speed blitzes him. But the Pencil Titan creates multiple objects to buy them more time, so the others could prepare their final strategy. The Speaker tries to stun him again, while the others give it their all to hold him in place. Then he sees a TV screen.
Yeah, and there's no escaping this time, so they successfully hypnotize the Tri-Titan, and he's unable to continue. But for the next part, we saw the intense battle between the Commander and the future Clockman. So these two would be left to take on the Tri-Titan, and I think we've got our answer to how this plays out. Although this poll is still a mystery to me. I mean, the future Clockman and the Commander are undoubtedly broken, that's a fact. But do you really think anything from them would be able to damage him? Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Moving on, and I think the Tri-Titan would probably need a break at this point, so it's finally time to relinquish our first rule. No more battling the Alliance alongside the threats, cause yeah, you'd get why in a little bit. From episodes 40 to 46, that's where everything takes a huge turn. You see, the threats only kept getting crazier and crazier, cause not only is our boy Tri-Titan up against the Reaniman Skibidi, but he'd also be battling dudes like the Sinister, Counter, Wraith Titan, and of course the G-Man Apocalypse as well. And if you've really seen Jimmy's feats, you'd know he's truly no joke. For the Reaniman Skibidi and the boss mutant, I'm pretty sure the Tri-Titan in complete form could take them out without breaking a damn sweat. The same goes for the Jimmy clones as well. I know they're kinda OP and stuff, but that doesn't really stop our Gravity King until, well, he's now faced against the Counter as well as Jimmy. And trust me, things start to get really interesting. Even though the Counter would be easily bodied, like I mentioned earlier, Jimmy would be a different story. His feats have become more impressive. I mean, he was able to casually decimate an entire base with a single strike, all that together with his nuke-level attack. And yeah, we've got Triadian toast. Nah, I'm just kidding. The Tri-Titan is durable enough to tank nuke-level attacks, so I'm pretty confident about this. Besides, all he's gotta do is find an opening and give the real Jimmy a piece of his mind. Then again, I'll leave this one up to you guys, so you gotta write it down there in the comments. Is Jimmy getting cooked or the opposite? Looking further, we now have the alien puppet and the Wraith Titan, but I don't think these guys have shown enough feats and abilities to participate in this fight just yet, so I'll be saving that one for later. At this point, our Gravity King gets bored and decides to move on to the last and final opponent, the Sinister. Personally, I think this dude is a complete fodder, seeing as he yaps a whole bunch. However, it's still a fact that his strength is completely out of this world. After all, we saw how he got the Time God pretty roughed up like crazy. He even stopped an entire galaxy, and if that isn't convincing enough, then hear this. He even claims to have multiple Titans for dessert, and I'm pretty sure the Tri-Titan would be next on the menu. Seriously, what I'm trying to say is that the Tri-Titan stands no chance against this monster. However, it's pretty damn impressive for a single character to make it this far, having only minor defeats throughout, and that should really tell you how much of a beast our Gravity King truly is. With that being said, check out this video to see what happens if the Skibidi Wars and Multiverse switched villains.